goodness.
Oh, am I doing this? Hey, what's good, everybody? We're here with a show we've all been waiting for, man. I'm telling you that right now. So this is Arcane Season 2. So, of course, we had the pleasure of watching this, and oh my god. Was it worth the wait? That's a question that I'm going to have to ask these boys, because we are joined by, of course, the man himself, Mr. TeamJVS, Samuel Lego Jr., and then, of course, we got Jor-El, the homie. So I mean, we got a little crew to talk about something that's been phenomenal to watch. And as a fan of the game, unfortunately, as much as stress as it's put on my body, and of course we got two people who have fallen in love with the show. I'm really excited to have the mixture of opinions for everything. But it's been interesting, and I'm excited to talk about it.
Yeah, man. I'm really happy that this came out. I The first season really set like a very interesting tone of where animation could be and also storytelling. But the thing that captivated me about it was it was just so freaking good. Like I could not I couldn't get over the fact that every single scene was emotion that lifted out of it. There was weight, there was excitement, there was great action, but the story, I mean, just carried you all the way to where it was. So when it ended the first season, we really didn't know where it was going to go. And now, having seen the second season, they did not drop the ball, you guys. If you guys were worried that, they would tone it down, or that, the animation would be lacking, or something like the second episode starts changing the animation or something crazy like that, no. They are putting their foot on the gas, and it just is continuously going on. They are doing things on the animation level that they didn't even do in the first season. Even down to the soundtrack, the score, like it's rhythmic to how even the actual story is moving forward. So it's a whole nother level, you guys. Y'all are not ready, and we've already seen the first 3 episodes of it. We want to say some stuff, but we can't say nothing. Jarrell hasn't seen it in a while. The first season, we didn't even do a recap when we watched.
Nah.
We went straight in, but yet we found ourselves at this impasse. Is like, oh, they still cooking. But go ahead, Jarrell. Sorry about that.
Now, it seems like somehow in 3 episodes they've like almost cleared the first season for me, with just a couple little exceptions, like how we see the transition from like Powder to Jinx and things like that. But this, man, Lord, what can I say? There's really nothing I can say except that somehow, particularly during episode 2, the show went from like, oh, this is great, to like, oh, I'm just fully on board. Like, wow. The animation genuinely was quite very impressive in parts, 100%.
And I think
there's certain shot compositions as well that were pretty staggering, particularly from like a emotional standpoint. And the soundtrack as well. Some of the like fight sequences to the music is just it's insane. It's insane.
Bro, they had this dude Sam like headbanging at one point. But
Yeah.
I do want to just say, like, you can tell they're getting really creative with this, because they were like really going crazy again at an animation standpoint. There was times where, God, it's so crazy to say things without spoiling it, but it felt like we were watching a comic at one point. Then it felt like we were doing something else at one point, and then they were just getting so animated, if that makes sense. Like
I was just about to say,
the top in a sense, to the
it
point
was
where
like a graphic novel. It was like a graphic novel for a second at one point.
And it's like it really fit the tone of that scene specifically, if you will. I mean, there's a lot going on in this show, and it's like they're placing every little piece in the right spot, whether it's the music at the right point, whether it's the suspense building up and then all of a sudden they play that same song that they played earlier. I don't know. They were just all these little details just make such a huge impact on what we're witnessing and what we're watching, and it just amplifies whether it's the soundtrack, whether it's the animation, whether it's the lighting, whether the fact that it literally is filmed like we're watching a friggin' movie. It's like all these little things make this show like top tier, and it's hard to compare with what we got in season 1. Like, it was hard to be like, okay, we probably won't get anything crazy. Yeah, we had to wait a while, but oh my god, I'm happy, I'm excited with what we've gotten. It's on par with season 1.
That's the weird part. Season 1 was great, but I don't know, something about the execution of season 2 so far seems like, oh yeah, they've just been waiting for this. They've been very prepared for this. They must have worked on this for a long time.
And the one thing I will say is, like, season 1 had a lot of building to do, a lot of world building, and they did it to a point where it was still really exciting. But here they don't have to do that. They're not pulling punches. There's scenes where we're like, is this actually happening? And then there's scenes that it's like, yeah, like they're just giving us so much in a the episodes aren't crazy long either. So it's like we're still witnessing so much in my opinion, a kind of a short period of time. And on top of that, I feel like one thing that they're doing a little differently is I feel like the pacing is a little more of my speed, and I think you guys will see that as you watch it, if that makes any sense. But I feel like we were a little all over the place in season 1, and I feel like I'm more emotionally attached to what's going on storyline wise, because they're not like splitting everything that's going on into multiple episodes. They'll go storyline here, storyline there, and they'll keep it point blank. And I just feel a little more invested, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, one thing I want to say, and I want to make sure you guys are prepared for it. This season, tonally, at times can be very dark. It can be very heavy. I mean, of course, we've seen certain aspects of that last season, but you'll off the bat, don't get too invested in any one character. And whether that means that they expire or that means they change. The tone in this is very different. I think that because the tone is so different and it adds stakes to the humanity of the characters. It's like, it's not just so much a character could die. A character could fundamentally change because of a trauma or reaction. And so it's like, if you're tethered to this one character you love, they may change for the worse or for the better. And I love that aspect of it, because what it does is you have well-established characters from the first season that are actually progressing. They are not staying stagnant at all. Every single character from what we've seen from the first few episodes have not just evolved, but they've had to change. And that's hard to do from how they're doing this. But I'll say this, there's a scene in the 3rd episode that may be one of the most lit fight scenes that they've done yet in the show. And Bizzy said it, they've got some excellent pacing. But transitions,
oh yeah, they were cooking with those.
Y'all are not ready. I could talk for days about this, but the transitions and the animations, whether it's an action scene, whether it's an emotional scene, whether it's great music, it all is very cohesive. So they took their time to cook and let this really, work, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's it feels like a sleeper hit or something. My goodness, I was not prepared to talk about this without spoilers. It gets that good, and that's a I don't know. That's not what I was expecting for some reason. I guess it's because it's just been so long since season 1, but I don't know. I wasn't expecting something this entertaining. That's for sure. No. There's so many moments that got me hyped that doesn't even make sense. Jesus Lord.
Yeah. But What are our closing thoughts? What are our emotions to this, and what do we rate it from A to F instead of numbers?
I just want to. My final thoughts are like, when I watched this for the first time, I was already, playing the game and everything, and the season one I'm talking about, and I was excited to hear what everyone had to say. I was excited that the show was doing so well, and the fact that everyone was so excited for what's to come, and when they were like, "Hey, yeah, it's probably not going to come for at least 2 years," and I'm just like, that brought me down here. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that we're finally here, it's just getting me really excited to hear the conversations that we're all gonna have, and just the excitement people's gonna have, because this show, if it did well in season one, like it has to do great for season two. Like this has been insane, and I'm really hoping you guys are excited for this.
Yeah. So what's your grade?
I'm giving it an A.
Fair enough. Closing thoughts, Jarrell, and rating.
I would like to give it a rating without with having seen more than 3 episodes, but I probably like a 9 out of 10, probably.
Yeah. I am gonna let you guys know that technically this is just part 1. So as you guys are watching this, there's gonna be 3 parts, and they're gonna be released out on a weekly basis. So we've seen the first 3 episodes. From what I've seen from part 1, it is an absolute A right now. I see moments of greatness that is to come, and I'm very excited to see where it's going to go. And I think you guys are going to fall in love with it all over again, whether you've done a recap or not. I think it may be beneficial to go back and maybe watch some of the episodes ahead of time. But if you don't, it's going to make you want to, and you're not going to be able to wait until you get to the next episode. So for me, this is an A. I'm excited for it to be back, and I can't wait to see how this story is going to conclude. And I'm going to leave that emphasis there without saying too much. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Bizzy, where can everybody find you, man?
Of course, you can find me Busy Braun everywhere. You can find me Busy Reactions on Instagram, and you can find me over here making reviews for TeamJVS.
Sir, Jarrell, where can everybody find your content, man?
Jarrell's Alexandria. Best way to reach out to me, my contents. Yeah.
Yeah, and if you guys want to watch us watch it live, of course, watch it for the first time, you can go check out my channel and see our reactions to it.
Yeah, and go and check it out on YouTube and on TikTok if you want to see our authentic reactions as well as our breakdowns. We do spoilers, small breakdowns and reviews on the TikTok for JVS as well. So yeah, if you guys want us to do individual reviews, it'll be up there for each one. It'll be like 2 to 5 minutes, so it's not gonna be that long. But we'll talk to you guys soon. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the bell button, go and follow these guys' respective channels, and we'll be back soon, guys. Peace, people.